Okay, in this module, we're going to talk a little bit about standard views in the GeoGebra window. So I'm assuming you're either using the GeoGebra 4 Web Start version or the GeoGebra 4 offline installer version, although the applet start should work similarly. So I begin by launching GeoGebra 4. And you'll notice, you should notice a couple of windows here. This window to the left is called Algebra View. Whenever we create a new object, its algebraic representation will appear here on the left. This window is the Graphics View. This is where we create geometric objects. Appears the toolbar. Underneath each of these, if you click on the little triangle on each icon, you'll notice there's a pull-down menu. With lots of different options in here, which we'll talk about in more depth in later modules. And then below is something called an input bar. Basically here you can type in commands to construct objects as an alternative to clicking and using drawing tools to create them. So just as an example, if I were to create a point, I could go over here to the new point tool, click and create a point. You'll notice that when I created point A, not only does it appear over here in the geometry view, graphics view, it also appears in the algebra view. When I drag on the point, notice that the algebraic representation changes as well. They're really linked together. If I wanted to, I could create a point here from the input bar. Say I want to create a point B equaling, how about with x coordinate -2 and y coordinate 3. So I'm able to create objects from the input bar or by using these tools up in the toolbar. In either case, when I create the object, its algebraic representation is shown in the algebra view. I can drag on this point in exactly the same way I did with point A. Now for those of you that are more familiar with Sketchpad, you might begin by hiding this algebra view. There is no such view in Sketchpad. So by clicking on this close button, or by going to the view menu and unchecking algebra, that algebra column will go away. You can also go to the view menu bar and click axes. That will hide the axes from view. The input bar can be shown or hidden by toggling it here. Notice that under view, input bar, unclicking show, now the input bar is hidden. Lastly, notice that when I highlight these points, I can highlight more than one at a time by creating a rectangle around them with the selection tool, the move tool. I can select more than one point at a time, any object actually I would like to select. And clicking here, I can set the style of the point. I can make these larger or smaller. It can be handy. I can also change the color. These options up here in this bar change based on what sorts of objects I have selected. So it's kind of fun to play around with this a little bit.